Hey guys, King Jet here. Welcome to my latest DSP video where I talk about the recent DSP drama relating to PayPal chargebacks, and in particular the issues he's had with the Snorlax King, who has been quite kind to him lately with contributions. But there was some chargeback issues that happened which Phil took some annoyance to, you could say. So first of all, we'll go over the emails because that's chronological order. That's what happened. That's how we go about it. So it's funny because the email starts off essentially from bottom to top. Snorlax King reached out to Phil, thanking him for sticking up for him last night during Disney Dreamlight Valley, and there was a troll situation in the chat, blah 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 blah. He's also tried to help him at Overwatch 2 stuff, this was from back in 4th October. And Phil's like, not a problem, I always stick up for nice people, and so it goes from that. And then Phil then sends an email like a couple weeks later saying, hey, I hate to do this, but I have to reach out to you today and ask what's going on. You stopped showing up to my streams as of last weekend, and now I'm getting supposed chargebacks from you on PayPal. Information and chargebacks are shown as not authorised, meaning that this is outright fraud. You obviously authorise the charges as you have large detailed messages attached to them. I fulfilled my end of the contract by counting those contributions and shouting them out. And you know this as you enjoyed the content and actively participated in it. It's incredibly disturbing and alarming that you act like this if this is indeed you. I'd like to know what's going on before I respond to these chargebacks, because maybe it's just a misunderstanding or maybe something else is going on. But you are committing a crime with these and could get into serious trouble with your financial institution if you lie about these being unauthorised. So I hope this is nonsense. So quite a threatening email there from Phil Burnell. Snorlax King responds, hey Phil, the last couple of weeks I've been severely sick with strep throat and tonsillitis, and I've spent the last few weeks recovering and trying to get caught up with college work and securing a job I've been gunning for. I promise I was not trying to intentionally avoid you or your streams. I've just been immensely busy and haven't had the time to watch you as consistently as I've wanted to. As for chargebacks via PayPal, I am so incredibly sorry that this happened. I used a credit card for a few of the purchases for the last couple of times, and I swear that I have no idea as to why these purchases are being charged back, as I would never ever have requested for this to happen. I awoke to a few emails about my PayPal account being locked, and I had to go in and change my password and reconfirm my account details because my account got fully locked down and wouldn't operate unless I did. The only thing I can think of is that perhaps I went over my credit limit and it's charging it back because the credit card companies viewed it as suspicious activity. Thus it automatically, good old fucking thus, it automatically disputed the payments made via PayPal. Again, I am truly sorry for the trouble this has caused and the loss of revenue for you. I'd never purposely try and do this or harm you or your business. I'm not sure how to resolve the situation or fix it at my end, besides never using a credit card again for a tip, which I'll make sure to do to avoid this ever happening again. Again, I can't say sorry enough because I really did not know this would ever happen or wanted this to. I hope you can understand and forgive me for this misunderstanding, and I'll be more responsible so you're not having to deal with this again. So quite a very apologetic email. So that Phil kind of comes across very threatening, and Snorlax King is immediately just I'm so sorry, I don't know what happened, please help me make sure it doesn't happen again. He's very sorry, obviously, in the fucking message. Phil responds, okay, so reading through your email, there's a lot that doesn't make sense. You say that you used a credit card for the last couple of times you tipped, and that may be the chargebacks. Sadly, it's not the case here. Here's the actual data. September 16th, 9 PM, $10 chargeback unverified mobile tip. September 20th, 8:45 PM, $6 chargeback unverified mobile tip. September 20th, 9:12 PM, $2 chargeback unverified mobile tip. September 30th, 3:35 PM, $5 chargeback verified tip. This would have been the first time you tipped me via a new method after Stream Elements banned my account directly logged into PayPal, so it's not a quick mobile tip. For all of these, the chargeback reason is unauthorised transaction. As you can see, it's possible 3 of these are credit card tips, but the last one is 100% a verified tip fully through your PayPal that is backed by seller protection. It's exactly the same way you sent me a tip today. So I find it hard to believe that one is a credit card issue. In addition, I have never ever heard of a credit card company that disputed transactions this far after the fact on behalf of a customer without asking first. For example, I'll get a decline message and then a text afterwards saying, did you authorise this transaction? And I have to approve or deny it to get my card unlocked. Or the transaction is outright denied at the time of use, and therefore I never would have gotten the tip to begin with. The chargebacks above are through the financial institution. That means somebody contacted the payment company after the fact and told them the transactions weren't authorised, so they issued the chargebacks almost a month later. So from my perspective, Phil's perspective, there are only 2 options. 1, you're lying, or 2, someone had access to your PayPal account and financial data and somehow issued manual chargebacks after the fact, impersonating you. Since you asked me what you can do, you now have the exact dates and transactions, so you should be able to figure out exactly payment methods, what the payment methods were. If you didn't do it, you absolutely need to contact those companies and ask what happened, because someone could have full access to your data if this is the case, and be doing some heinous stuff with it unbeknownst to you. If you did do it, just fess up, and hopefully come to your senses and end this madness. I'd very much like to believe this isn't the case, considering you've also super chatted, gifted memberships and more, and all those are fully non-refundable, so it makes no sense to me whatsoever that you do this on purpose, but the other case is sadly a lot more sinister. So, Phil again sends a very aggressive email, complete with information, and Snorlax King comes back to him with the full facts of the situation as he's aware of them. So, hey Phil, I'm sorry for sending you misinformation the first time, as I was a bit upset and panicked and honestly didn't know what was going on, but I went over the financial statements with my family to make absolute sure what card was declined and why. The card I used for those purchases that were charged back was a Wells Fargo debit card, not the credit cards. The credit cards were fine, and that was not the issue at all. Again, I apologise for the misinformation the first time. I was purely guessing and should have handled that more calmly and not given you false information the first time. That Wells Fargo card is a family card that myself and 3 other people living with me use to make purchases. I'm not the owner of the bank account or manage it, but I do contribute money towards it and make purchases on it occasionally, as I did when I tipped you the amount I did. When I made the tips using that debit card to you via PayPal, apparently Wells Fargo marked those specific transactions as suspicious activity, and the owner of the bank account never approved them or notified me of this whatsoever, so Wells Fargo requested they be charged back and blocked. Now that card has been deactivated and they're sending the owner of the account a new card to use, because Wells Fargos tend to be like that and overreact. Again, I cannot express enough apologies for this entire situation and what has caused you and your business to go through. I would never ever purposefully try to swindle you out of money nor make your life a headache. This is all a complete misunderstanding because I chose to use a different card than ones I specifically own and operate, and did not check to make sure that the purchases was verified by the account owner. I apologise for my error in judgment. I understand you have been the victim of trolling and chargebacks, but rest assured that I would never try and swindle or do something like this. I've been a member for a couple of months already, and I'd like to think I've been a very generous and respectful to both you and your community. I've made thumbnails and I've stood up for you, even dealing with trolling against me over the last couple of weeks, because I chose to contribute and be an active viewer. I wouldn't be acting that way if I had plans to pull a ridiculous stunt like this. Even today, I took $25 to $27 to your Evil Within stream to show support. But I understand that you've had your trust broken many times, and it's completely understandable why you get into contact with me, and be cautious. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me and trust me as a fan and viewer again. If there was financial damages done to you because of chargebacks, I will gladly tip you the money you were rightfully given the first time to make up for that, if that's what needs to be done. I'll be more careful in the future to ensure it doesn't happen again. And Phil responds, well, this explanation makes a lot more sense than the first one. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and believe you. Do not worry about these chargebacks. I'm just going to have to refund them, and hopefully they don't hit me with any additional fees or penalties. So this is all from like the 16th, 17th of October, essentially. This is all wee drama from the email stuff. But I think since then, Snorlax King had time to kind of dwell on it and think about it. Because, as you can see here, he kind of comes back and, and he seems to just kind of not be quite happy. We'll start with his Twitter account, okay? The guy's actual Twitter account. He says, I've got nothing to hide. This is how DSP treats someone when there's an accidental chargeback, and I was gone not watching the streams when I was out sick. Talking about my committing a crime and saying I'll get into trouble. And I'll say, so he put the emails on Twitter anyway, but I just asked him to send it to me over, just send it directly, just so I could easily show it for video purposes. So, and then he includes another tweet, more from a DSP email conversation. This comes after I was panicking and stupidly tried to talk Phil down, telling him I thought my credit card bounced. This is how he responds to me apologising and asking how I can fix the problem. So yeah, it's just basically his responses were about, Phil just being so salty and bitter and toxic and whatnot. So yeah. And it includes, as I'm saying, Snorlax King just keeps going, I'm talking to, so he's talking to that being said, guys, and he's talking to Piece of Piece as well, apparently behind the scenes. And he's obviously going for chargebacks. He's filed a case of chargebacks. He's trying to get his money back. He even blocked Phil on Twitter. I know some people kind of roll their eyes and think, oh, this is going to be some kind of whale that pretends to fucking give up on Phil and then go running back. It could happen, who knows, you know what I mean? But I'm just presenting the situation as we know it right now, Snorlax King has apparently had enough of Phil, specifically because of that email and the kind of threatening tone and manner of it. So Snorlax King just seems to be going all in. He's tried to report the guy. He also likes this clip me picture. Okay, fair enough that. But yeah, in between all that, you can just see the information he's posted here. He put over $400 sent to DSP, money down a drain because I was dumb enough to let him manipulate me and guilt me into being a supporter. All in desperation to befriend this scumbag and be nice. Regardless if I get my money back, I doubt I will. Please use me as a cautionary tale. He is not the first person to use someone else's credit card. Technically it was kind of his card, but it was a group card. And it's one of those things where he didn't have sole ownership of the card. But in the past, obviously, infamously, Derek, fucking one of Phil's most committed diehard fans, who is a bit of a fucking creepy bastard, stole his mother's credit card and used it to give Phil money, and then his mother found out and gave Derek into trouble, which was quite embarrassingly funny. There you go. But it's not the first time it's happened, and it probably won't be the fucking last time. And Snorlax King, to credit his sign, if he gets any of the money back, he's going to make some donations to the charity linked in Piece of Pieces videos, which is Jasper Angels. I'd highly recommend. It's a good cause, you know. Piece of Piece has a wee charity run and he calls it Jasper's Angels. And check it out if you want to. But yeah, so some of the messages from... so first of all, Snorlax King got leaned on Phil's chat for a super chat here. Also, he gave the guy $10 just to fucking say it, although I think you had to... Also, you want to say a message this long, I think you had to have that as a minimum length, essentially. I'm embarrassed by how I let myself be manipulated by you. I get sick, there's a few accidental chargebacks, and you threatened me legally via email. Buyer and viewer beware. Phil didn't change. Goodbye. So, and then also he turned up in Piece of Pieces stream, saying, yes, the card I used for those 4 purchases wasn't my own card, it was a family card used. The owner of the account did not approve those 4 purchases via alert, so they bounced back. So, and finally, we've got Phil even fucking addressing it in video. Doesn't name drop him, but he talks about it.
One final thing. This is just neither here nor there. I received $400 in chargebacks today. Okay. Basically, this one person who had contributed over the course of, a month or two, I guess was always a detractor. I don't know. I really don't know the story behind it at all. So it slammed me right at the tail end of the stream, but I was smart. I transferred tips that I needed for my day off tomorrow and to pay my bills to my bank account already. So it did not drain my funds. Thank God. Okay? So the good news is I am set for my day off. I'm set for Gotham Night. The bad news is when I come back on Friday, I'm literally starting this week at negative $400 because of a scumbag. Yeah.
So let's just recap that situation now. Phil, so Snorlax King went and pursued the chargebacks towards the end of the stream, and Phil immediately withdrew all his money before PayPal could fucking, yeet the money back out of PayPal. So it means that Phil's account is basically negative $400. Because of this all, and keep in mind, this is, and we keep stressing this fucking point, okay, this is not detractor, so Snorlax King was not a detractor, he was a long time fan of DSP, let's make that perfectly fucking clear. He actually says as much when he's been answering questions to people asking about these kind of things. Blah 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 blah. Hang on, he responded to Super Crazy, I believe. Super Crazy sent a message to him on Twitter. Fuck me, man, a lot of people have been fucking talking to him. There you go. Super Crazy, if you truly are on my Phil and you've seen what type of person he really is, then what account did you use before Snorlax King? You clearly didn't just show up all of a sudden. This would go a long way to proving what you're saying is true. Before Snorlax King, he was Big Papa Snorlax, made an account to chat with, then he made another account to have a second membership with to help Phil hit his goal. And he stopped using Big Papa and made Snorlax King the main account that he used, and all this information was very relayed to that being said. Yeah, I got a few of those guys will cover it tonight on their call-in show in some capacity. But yeah, look guys, it's not the first time Phil has manipulated money from people. He knows exactly who's contributing to him when you send him a tip. Your email address is attached to him. For example, anytime Phil claims he doesn't know who's doing this or that regarding tips, he will usually know them because he'll usually often recognise the email addresses. Because a lot of times it's the fucking same person. All these anonymous tips, they're anonymous, on the stream, but he will know exactly who the fuck they are usually most of the fucking time. But anyway, I just kind of thought I'd highlight a situation with Phil's chargeback drama, even though he done well and he got quite a lot of tips, whatever, for his day off and not shitting to get the game on Friday, even though he's paid on Friday by YouTube. It's just a situation where Snorlax King seems to have had enough. I thought I'd explain the situation as it happened, you know what I mean? That's breaking it down. So Phil's all angrily aggressive and just gunning for him, accusing him of, you're committing a crime here, what did you do? And you're lying to me and all that shit, very aggressive, very salty, very toxic. And Phil's attitude in handling this situation has lost him an actual fan who seemed actually quite remorseful at the time. The guy genuinely showed remorse for what happened. It was some sort of accidental thing that happened because it was out. Also, he maybe could have fucking done more if he wanted to at his end to try and make sure that the account, the person in charge of the account, for example, say, by the way, if you see these things pop up, they're my transactions, so don't. It's one of those things. It's hindsight, it's one of those things where it's like, if you knew it was going to fucking happen, you'd fucking try to stop it happening anyway. But it's clearly an accident on Snorlax King's point of view for this to have happened to Phil. He genuinely wanted just to show support for him, and Phil, angrily and very in a toxic manner, just went after him and just demanded answers. So yeah, Phil is always going to be the person who is most hurt, damaging to himself. He looks like, for now anyway, it looks like he's fucking lost a whale. Maybe no offense, Snorlax King, but you were a bit of a fucking whale. You gave him like fucking $700 in like super chats or something, $400 in tips. Yeah, that's whale category, pal. There's no fucking disputing that. But, yeah, I just thought I'd point this fucking shit out. That's what I'm saying. Personally, also, if people enjoy giving Phil money, it's up to them. I think it's dumb. I don't think Phil deserves your fucking money. But if people genuinely enjoy Phil's content and want to give him their fucking money, then, a fool and their money are easily parted, in my opinion. But if that's what they want to fucking do with their money, I'm not going to fucking tell people what to do with their fucking money. I just think it's a fucking waste of money giving it to Phil Burnell because he pisses that money away very easily, very readily. He claims he's got fucking shit, he can't afford anything, he can't afford to fucking pay his bills, he can't afford to fucking eat out, he can't afford to buy groceries, not shit. He can't afford to fucking spend money in WWE Champions, he can't afford to fucking DoorDash once a fucking week a pricey wee meal for him and his fucking wife. The guy doesn't understand dire times, he doesn't understand fucking financial desperation. He's got no clue what it fucking means to be living in fucking poverty. He thinks he does, but he's got no fucking clue whatsoever. The guy fucking lives a charmed, blessed life, and if he thinks times are tough now, you just fucking wait until more whales disappear and they don't get fucking replaced as readily as they have been. I just have to wait and see for fucking Phil to end up pissing off enough whales to fucking drive him all away. But when that time comes, we'll be sure to fucking laugh at him, that's for sure, because Phil is going to be the fucking, he's going to cause his own downfall. I'm primarily convinced that it's not going to be a detractor op, it's not going to be something like that, nah. Phil is going to be the end of him. He does it to himself. He is his own worst enemy, he always has been. Phil's conduct, his attitude, his personality comes shining out in the end, and people end up seeing the light and seeing Phil for what he really is. A toxic, aggressive, angry little boy who fucking demands your money and obedience and never fucking question what he fucking does with your money. Anyway, I just thought, I'm fucking going on way too long, but just kind of thought it's how it is kind of thing. I know there's other things worth talking about, as well, but there's not a lot of information available about that kind of thing. There's like things like the bot drama. Phil had a whole bunch of fucking bots turn up, and then right at the same time, he had a bunch of membership given to him. A lot of information on that is not clear for now, and I want to try and get more information on that first before even trying to cover it. A lot of people have covered it already, to be fair, as well. So just keep an eye out for other detractor channels. There will certainly be a lot of talk about it. But we'll just have to wait and see what information comes in the following days from that, and the kind of fallout from that, and see if Phil's going to get hit by YouTube, perhaps, because also he's got a lot of fake accounts. Clearly there's a lot of fake accounts that subscribed to him and liked his videos, and also potential or gifted memberships. All these, and it's quite suspicious as well that Phil allowed he actually disabled sub-bullying mode in his chat so he could get all these memberships, approved. It's something that's not adding up there, but there's not a lot of information out there yet about that. It's all just speculation, which is why I'm trying to avoid that for now. So I just thought I'd cover this for now. And Snorlax King hopes he's an example to be kind of. So there's something he said. He wants to be. What is it he said? Hang on, it's two things. Let me just end on Snorlax's words. Yeah. Over $400 I sent to DSP, money down the drain because I was dumb enough to let him manipulate me and guilt me into being a supporter, all in desperation to befriend a scumbag and be nice. Regardless if I get my money back, I doubt I will. Please use me as a cautionary tale. We'll see if he stays away from Phil. Sometimes they'll go running back to him eventually because it's kind of just weird that happens. Detractors have been kind of split on this as well, Some are saying you get what you fucking deserve and other people are kind of sympathetic. Personally, as I said, I'm kind of... obviously people can do what they want with their fucking money, He does seem quite remorseful. He definitely emails, he genuinely did seem to be sorry to Phil, and Phil just fucking shat all over him, you know what I mean, and just fucking was aggressive with him. So I do feel a little bit sorry for him. But at the same time, it's one of those things that's like, you know, we'll have to see. I mean, whatever people are happy doing, they're fucking just going to do it regardless. And I've seen so many fucking whales in the past claim to be done with Phil, and then they go running back. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with Snorlax King, whether he even fucking becomes a detractor, or even just fucking leaves the whole fucking situation altogether, and just does whatever else he fucking wants to do. I'm going to end things there. This has been King Jad. Hope you enjoyed this week's random video. Peace out.